Chris, all rolling?
For the final time of the year, Ben, we are all rolling.
This is New Year's Eve, right?
I think it might be a day before New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
But it's the last one of the year.
It's the New Year special, so yeah.
Yes.
Excellent. Just so I know my time zones. I know we're all over the place recently. I'm going to jump straight in with the intro because we've got a lot to cover. So, welcome to the RUNcensored podcast, the last one of 2025, with me, Ben Mountey, Gary House, Rich Gill, and some cameo from Chris. Today, I thought we could recap the year, talk about some of the highlights. I thought we could do a little awards ceremony, so we can touch upon best runners of the year, best performances, loads of different categories. What I'll do, I'll give you a category, guys, and you can just chip in with your answers. How does that sound?
Sounds good.
Yeah. Before we do that, though, what are you up to for New Year's Eve, Rich?
Oh, New Year's Eve, yeah. I'm actually going to a wedding.
Oh,
yeah. As a guest and as a papa.
Oh, wow,
so
mate.
doing a bit of both.
Wearing both hats.
Yeah. In a tux.
You're getting paid to eat food, that's all.
That's all right, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
Sounds like a good gig,
I've
actually, mate.
Yeah, I've got some good mates. So, yeah, it'd be fun, that.
Yeah. Are you doing it on one of those like Polaroid cameras where it just comes out straight away?
That'd be easier, wouldn't it? I should just...
You know you've got good pictures then because it's like straight away. And there's no wait time, is there? You know, like when people say, oh, my wedding picture's ready yet. Well, there you go. It's fucking ready now.
Yeah, I'll tell you what.
Put it in the bottom of your dress, put it in your pocket, wear a bum bag, vest, put it in
But to be fair, I've noticed that where I do a few weddings, they order those in anyway, as well as a photographer. So
yeah, I've seen that.
It's like
And you never see them.
isn't it?
then there's a booth with some silly hats and all sorts. So, yeah,
Then they realise they have to spend 50 quid at a chemist. And
Yeah,
you never see
develops.
light of day.
Yeah. What about you?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Quiet one again, mate. I usually go away with Kirsty and the dogs in the van. So we're going to head up to Scotland and do the same thing. Yeah. So,
Sweet.
yeah, I'm not very sociable New Year's Eve. Said it last year, like, tend to just get away. So we'll have a couple of drinks, but I'll be in bed for 9:30.
Nice.
Guaranteed. Probably similar to you, Gary, I reckon. But you don't see it in, do you?
I'm going to Cream in Liverpool. Yeah. Oh no, that was 25 years ago.
Sometimes we do film the podcast and it is a different time zone, isn't it? So it could well be.
Yeah, I will be. Usually we go around to our friend's house that have got kids similar age. Don't have a late one. Yeah, they have a bit of a disco.
And
Have a few drinks.
You'll see it in New Year. Or just check in.
No. Yeah, me and my friend Mark. Like if we're in the house, we'll have a couple of gins.
Yeah.
Gins, darts, fall asleep.
Sleep through the fireworks.
That's it. Yeah. Oh, there's never any fireworks in New Year's Eve, mate.
Chris, Cream, Liverpool. Yeah.
I think it sounds very similar to you guys. My little boy's really taken to riding his bike and riding on my bike. And we're having a couple of weeks off over Christmas and New Year. So we're just making the most of that, I think. So I think we'll try and hit the trail centre. We'll be that people that go riding a bike first thing on New Year's Day, I think. So
nice.
Early to bed.
Set of boring bastards, aren't we? Middle-aged podcast, isn't it? Yeah. Apart from Rich, actually. Rich is the only sociable person between us, I think. There,
only because he's been invited.
Yeah. To be fair, yeah.
Because he's on the prowl, he's single and ready to mingle, ladies.
Got them discount codes ready.
Watch out, bridesmaids.
If anyone's listening.
Come into my booth.
Come into my man cave.
Still free charge people.
Come behind the curtain.
Swiftly moving on.
Yeah, swiftly moving on, Rich. Sorry. I'll tell you what. Let's start with an easy category. Say easy. We'll build up to the main event, the best trail runner. of the
We
year.
should preface this with we took a minute or two to recap the full year. We will have missed people out. We will have missed performances out. This is by no means an official list, unlike some you may see on Instagram. So yeah, it's a bit of fun, and hopefully you can join in afterwards.
Used a set of algorithms, haven't we, to work out the winners?
Yeah,
Gary? Our
yeah.
own set. Yeah, we weren't quite happy with the.
We've put together ITRA, UTMB, RSPCA, and
BBC.
and Pornhub, and then come up with this.
And we've come out with this.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Best trail shoe 2025. Richie, you can go first because I think you already know what you're going to say.
I'm obliged to go with, but also would anyway, the North Face Provective 3s.
What do you like about them, Rich?
What I love about them. Well, they've got this I've wore them for UTMB, OCC, and I am not kidding. Straight out of the box, on my feet. I had another pair before
Good
that.
start.
I knew they fit. However, absolutely flawless. Like stability, the rocker formation in there. They were just the perfect shoe for like hard pack trails.
Here's a
They look
question
good as
for
well.
you, and I don't know the answer. You might not even know the answer. What shoe are you planning to wear for Dragon's Bath?
Ooh, good question. And I think, well, I'm pretty sure there'll be a new range of the No Face shoes coming out in the new year around March time.
Bit of lugs.
Yeah, because that's a high stack shoe you're on about, the Vective, isn't it?
High stack, 3.5 mil lugs. So obviously they'll be no good in the Welsh sort of hills, really, on that time of year, on a wet day especially. The Infinites 5 mil lugs. 5 mil lugs, Infinite 3s. Not as stacked highly. So something like that would be probably used more
UK appropriate.
Yeah, so we'll see what else is coming out.
Bit of testing, mate.
Yeah, there might be a couple of pairs on that 6 day.
Will there be a Vective Gill? Are you going to have your own range now? Now you're with the North Face.
Well, hang on, didn't Elsie have her own design shoe for the Bob?
Yeah, well, all the athletes on the global team work with All Triangles, which is based in Annecy, and they develop their own shoes, so they can actually ask for a particular stack height, lug, depth, width. So they will make a shoe for the athletes.
You can go to, what is it, Keystone Cobbler or whatever his name is. Get it resold.
However, I know what you're going to
say.
Yeah, so I did that, and so last year I did that. I took the Pro 2s to the Vibram store in Chamonix and got my Pro 2s. Then you with me, resold, right? It would cost me normally about 90 quid from the Keystone Cobbler. He does a great job, that guy up there in the Northeast. Anyway, I did it, and I thought, well, I'll put some sort of British winter 4.5 mil aggressive lugs on, 5 mil lugs on, aggressive lugs for the winter. Put them on, and I thought initially, wow, amazing, looks good, feels good. However, I would say after a couple of months of wearing them, the technology in the shoe was compromised massively. So the rocker formation became flat and didn't have that rock. It was a bit stiff. The dream foam that you get in the shoe was taken away. I felt the sensitivity. So I felt like actually, initially I thought I've done an amazing thing here. Loads of people did the same, followed suit, and then realised it turned not as good.
The only thing you're replacing is the grip, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're obviously going to compromise on everything else. That's why if you put any shoe in soft ground, you're not going to get what it's designed for.
Yeah, and what you got to remember here is then that like a soft ground shoe essentially is a low profile shoe with an aggressive deep lug.
Yeah.
But you've put that outsole, that aggressive outsole, on a high stack shoe that's meant for hard pack trails.
It's a bit like your van outside.
It's quite dangerous, isn't it, really? Yeah.
I guess that'd be like putting really cool alloys on effectively what's a work van, right?
Listen, that's a rate upgrade on my van. Leave it alone. Looks class. You don't know anyone out there. Just upgraded my wheels on the caddy.
I don't know. We've only been going 5 minutes.
But seriously, no. Pro Vective both Pro 3s, amazing shoe. For the Dragon's Back, let's watch this space. I reckon there'll be a couple of shoes using that. Let's see what the No Face bring out. But at the minute, it'd be Infinite 3s and maybe the Pro 3s or something else. I'm not sure yet. Mixed in. Sky 2s maybe. Go on, get yours.
I'm thinking of now an all-round trail shoe because we've mentioned there, like, that's a hard pack trail shoe that you've gone for. Like soft ground, I'd use something totally different. Like a VJ iRock 4 is my favourite soft ground shoe, and I like the Normal Sherag Brute because they've got an aggressive lug and they innovate mud talon. But my all-round shoe is going to be the La Sportiva Prodigio Pro, bestseller at sports shoes this year. Couldn't get enough of them in. People just buying them
red and black
based on.
Ones. They like red and black design.
No. Well, yeah, it's got black on it, but it's more like white and black, I'd say. Yeah, white, black with a bit of yellow, a bit of red on it as well. Great shoe, just a good all-round shoe. So not necessarily well suited to soft ground, but you can probably use it as a 3-season shoe. So use it. You could do sections of road on it if you wanted to, but essentially more for the hard pack, I'd say mass market kind of races. I like a UTMB, for example, but I think it just sold well because people knew it was a good shoe, and it's actually not got a plate in it either. So, you know, irrespective of like people think the carbon plate shoes are the best for trail, that goes against the grain. So, yeah, great shoe. And it's a very snug fit as well. So if anyone's thinking about getting one, I'd go at least half a size up. But yeah, that's my shoe. What about you, Gary? Anything that you've used this year that you think is worthy of that?
You know what? I've had limited shoe choice this year. I was just trying to think when you were saying it. I had my first normals this year, so I was really impressed with them. Yeah. Do you know what? What surprised me again? Going to UTMB, I'm not saying this might necessarily be the best shoe out there, but again, I haven't tried that many because I've been given some. And they've lasted well. The HOKA Mafate 5 really surprised me in terms of not like I've never owned a HOKA, so
Yeah.
it was almost like I didn't really know. I mean, I tell a lie. I had one about 5, 6 years ago. Wasn't overly impressed, but it wasn't what I was using it for. Like you say, back then I was all about fast, low profile, big lugs. Yeah, I was impressed with that, to be honest. And like I say, I'm not saying it's the best shoe ever, but for an alpine shoe, I felt like I could run all. Felt like I
Yeah.
could run all day in them. They protected my feet on the rocky ground and stuff. And the shoe I used in Gran Canaria, yeah, it was coming to end of life, but that was a bit too high stacked for me in that terrain and all that kind of thing. Whereas the Mafate just for me did a job. Quite
Good
robust.
all round shoe, actually. Isn't
Yeah,
it,
I think it was
Mafate?
quite an all round
Yeah.
good. And it looked for me anyway. Better way of saying this is it feels a lot lighter than it looked.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, yeah.
They pitch that as like a cushion shoe for technical trails.
Yeah.
And it's not like a ridiculously aggressive lug. In fact,
No.
everything pretty much in the HOKA range is a 5mm, so it's good across all types of like terrain. And you can go into the soft terrains, but that for me is like, yeah,
And it's not
a
too
good all round.
because a lot of the time now they're a lot like a normal shoe. It's quite niche. It's quite specific in what you have to probably use it for. And I do love those shoes. The Mafate is more like I found myself recommending that to quite a few of the people I coach that I know that are just going to probably get loads of miles out of it, loads of training out of it. It's going to be a good all round shoe. So probably the one that I've been impressed with.
What did you wear for your first ultra, Chris?
I've always, I don't dry run that much, but Ben got me some, is it a Speed Cross 6, a Salomon,
went
for
Salomon,
running on the hills behind
You
our
like your
house.
Salomons, don't you?
Yeah, I've got very wide feet, so they were comfy and they were really, really good. But when I hurt myself, I think it was because I wore them for too long on the road on a training run. And I fed that back into Ben, and he sent me a questionnaire and got me some Asics, but I can't remember what they're called.
Kayanos. Yeah.
And, oh my God, I wouldn't have got around the ultra without them. I had to change.
Flush
My feet
cush.
were hurting.
Yeah.
There was a lot of gravel, tarmac, roads to run on, and I swapped those. And I wouldn't have done it without them. They were so comfy.
Good stuff. Nice mix of shoes. All available at sportshoes.com.
Who need to sponsor this podcast if they don't already?
They get enough free stuff out of us, definitely. Most memorable moment. I'll kick it off so you kind of know what I'm thinking about with this. Something that happened at UTMB, and it wasn't anybody necessarily winning it. Well, actually, no, it was linked to winning a race, but it was one that me and Gary picked up on straight away and thought that would be gold. And
we did it first, didn't we?
Yeah, I think we did it. They do it first and they copied off us. Yeah. It was the Tom Evans drinking out of the shoe for me. I just thought that is pretty iconic. I've seen that picture since, and I think that one will probably stand out as one of the most iconic trail running pictures of 2025. I mean, I'm not advising people to do that because get E. coli and shit, couldn't you? I don't know if Tom's been ill off it since. I've not seen him run since.
Athlete's mouth.
Yeah, athlete's mouth. I like that, Rich. But that was a funny moment. I mean, we jumped all over that, and it was good. I don't know if he's going to have to do that every single race now. He used to do that sort of captain's salute, didn't he?
Maybe this is the
Does both, I think.
Does he do both
I
now?
think he does both. I think so.
Two celebrations.
I think so. Yeah.
What's worse, the drinking out of the shoe or Damo's little teacup with his pink?
I forgot about Damon's teacup.
Hey, listen, if you're winning races, you can
Do whatever
afford
you
to do it. Like Ronaldo does his "soo" when he scores a goal. Hey, listen, if you're winning races,
Saying that, if I won UTMB, I'd be doing windmills on the finish line.
cartwheels for like 8.
Not that you can at the end of an
You
ultra.
get little Gary out and do a windmill, I think, wouldn't you?
Ultra dick.
Your little boy.
What about your memorable moment, Rich? Have you got one?
Memorable moment. I think I honestly being shooting a race. So as a photographer now, seeing Josh Wade and shooting that race this year, and seeing Josh Wade coming through in third place, knowing he'll probably get third, possibly into second. At that point, it was like special. We were together, weren't we?
Yeah.
Valacine, and it
That
was
good.
the smoke, the flares, the flags, the noise, and seeing him come through.
Just how focused he was, and seeing, like you see, like Ben was obviously doing really good as well, Ben Demon, but he looked like a man that was just hanging on. He wasn't, but
Yeah.
It was good to see Josh come through and he gave us a little fist bump and he had the whereabouts to be like,
He knew we were there. But
I've had little, like, not on UTMB scale, but I've been, when you're in a position, you're feeling great.
Yeah.
I could tell, even though he was hurting, he was in that frame of mind. You could just see it in his body language.
He paced it well, hadn't he? Because I saw him after that, and he was coming up Le Flagere, the last climb. And I ran a section with him and he was in good spirits then. And he actually looked the stronger out of everybody in the top 10. So I think pace-wise, he got it bang on. And I think another few kilometres, he would have taken Ben. I think you're right. I think Ben was, obviously he paced it well because he came second. But I think he was hanging on by the end and he was really struggling, whereas Josh looked really strong. And I was going to come and meet you at Valacine, but for the first time this year, the train was that packed. I literally couldn't get there.
I remember you saying,
And I think Valacine's become
we
such
got a bit
hotspot
lucky, didn't
now.
we? Because our mate Sam Skinner gives a lift down. And
yeah, Sam was brilliant on that to help us get down. But it's a good spot because if the weather is bad and it was cold that day on the top, so La Flagere was freezing on the top to go and what was a spectacle. Whereas the year before it was great. But Valacine's got this party vibe down there.
Yeah.
It was honestly class.
I think it's changing to these places to watch it now, isn't
and
it?
the views was, the landscape around just looked gorgeous with it as well. You could see him coming down the valley as well, so you got time to prepare, the crowds, and then you got a massive checkpoint.
Good thing as well about being in Chamonix, it's on that train journey from Chamonix, so you can jump on it. It's about 30 minutes maybe. And if you are staying somewhere in Chamonix, you get free train travel. They encourage you, don't they, to use the public transport, so you can get there relatively easy. But for me, obviously, timed it badly. If I'd have gone a bit earlier, it'd been fine. But just, I think everyone had cottoned on to the fact that was probably the place to watch it. Yeah, about you, Gary? Most memorable moment?
I'm gonna go with, because I've got back into running a bit. So by May, went back to May South Downs Way 100, World Trail Major, Centurion race, and just go and see Mark Derbyshire, who was on for a record run. Record run, following him over the top of the last highest point and then dropping down. I was able to run down as footage of Mark, not me, but he's running at a good pace. I'm running quite hard after him. And I remember being up there the year before, and because of my back and everything, I basically hobbled up to that checkpoint and saw the leader go through. This time I bombed it over with Mark and filmed him for like 3 minutes and shouting at each other and stuff. And I just remember, God knows how he felt, but I was absolutely buzzing just from running with him for 5 minutes and knowing what he was about to achieve. So I think that was
special.
Oh yeah. I was buzzing about that. One, because it was Mark. Two, because we've got to be quite good friends over recent years. 3, because I could run and actually do it. I wasn't just a bystander, as in I wasn't just some guy with a phone. I could actually run and peg after him. The whole afternoon was brilliant, to be honest.
I remember seeing the footage. I thought it was brilliant. Like the way you filmed it was fantastic, but the pace that he came up that last climb, like you said, at the end of a race like that, what was he essentially 98 miles in?
Yeah.
And he was coming up like most people would in a bloody short distance 5K.
And he's chugging like a train, but Mark being Mark, he's still he's got enough about him. I mean, he knows he's pushing at his limit, and I said, I basically shouted, "I'll leave it to you." He's like, "We can't keep up and everything." So he's still he'll still give you that kind of banter, for want of a better word. It was just brilliant to see him do it, to be honest.
Yeah. No, fair play, Mark. Top man, isn't he? Chris, did you have one you wanted to throw in?
I'm going to, being a newcomer to trail running, obviously, I'm going to take 3 for this category if I can.
Adele, are you me?
Well, you took me out to UTMB, which is amazing. Yeah. What's that place called at night where they run up to?
Notre Dame de la Gorge.
That was incredible. That's my number 3. Number 2 was also at UTMB when I met you after I'd done my 24-hour shift on the hill.
At La Flagere, that's where we saw Josh. Yeah.
Is that what it was? Yeah. And just after Josh, and I have to see which one of these it was. It was either Ludovic or Tia. I don't know.
I think it was Ludo.
Well, I think it was Ludo, the French guys.
Yeah.
And the atmosphere as he ran up, I literally had the hairs coming on the back of my neck.
He's a legend, isn't he?
But my number 1 is She Ultra. It was amazing. It was amazing to see my wife finish it. I gave her a little Harrison and she ran over the finish line with him because that was her recovery from pregnancy. And I just think the event is amazing.
Yeah, it is good. And we got to go to the spa, the greatest spa in the world.
Yeah, of course we met up, didn't we?
It's a good experience. I had a couple of other ones on my list that we have not mentioned, but worth a mention. Your mate Camille Heron, she's always popping up, isn't she?
Yeah.
In the news.
Eventful year, whether she's running or not. Yeah.
Yeah, she brings the media attention with her, doesn't she? Was she supposed to do the World 24 Champs or something? And
she was, and well, thanks, Ben. But you might need to fact check it. But yeah, she was down on the team for the US 24-hour team, but essentially didn't turn up for one. Yeah, for all intensive purposes. So it was a bit of a media storm. There was he said, she said. Yeah. So
did she update a wiki page after?
She didn't. I think she got someone else to do it for her. Who knows with Camille? Yeah.
Character.
Hopefully she hits some headlines for her running, because I've been a fan of her actual running for years now.
Who's that other runner who's sponsored by OnlyFans now as well? Do you remember that in the news?
Some
good moments in the media this year, I thought.
She likes Norwegian or Swedish.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I don't think so, but you're just hoping she...
I don't want to mix it, knowing more than I should here.
If she is, I'm subscribed. No, it's like... there is.
But you remember it happening though, don't you?
Yeah, that came out in the wash, didn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And then the other one was totally different. Caleb Olsen, winner of Western States this year. He wore that crazy Nike ACG top, the Radical Airflow top, or the string best, as Gary calls it.
The
Rabsy Nesbitt.
Radical Airflow.
ACG Rabsy Nesbitt.
I saw a guy walking through Chamonix wearing one of those.
Yeah, it was all over Chamonix, wasn't it? That was their big marketing moment.
The last time I saw one of them was on my grandma and granddad's tablecloth. When they got the china on, so doily cloth.
They wore them at the marathon, not afterwards though as well. I can't remember which one. In America, obviously. Wasn't.
Kipchoge had one on as well, didn't he?
That's right.
An orange one, didn't he? Yeah. Not so long ago. That one was white that Caleb bought. It's actually coming out in February. We're stocking it. I think we've got 30 coming in, which is not good because I don't think a lot of people would buy that, and it'll be expensive, guaranteed. But I'd love to know what it's like.
3 or 4 of us here that'll.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, we should get one and wear it on the podcast. Our own. But yeah, I just remember that being quite a significant moment, just because it caught the attention, didn't it?
Do you have any personal memorable moments yourself in any events? Do you know what I mean? One that sticks out?
Crossing the finish line at Gran Canaria,
Massive.
although it was huge. Fucking almost last. But that was exactly. That was brilliant, to be fair, to have a finish line.
What about Gary getting stuck on top of that wall when we're trying to get him sat down at the end? We were like, come on, get down, you a big ledge.
I was
Tin Man.
I was
me turning up with a Barnsley briefcase. That must have been in my memory.
Yeah, that whole not week was it, but that whole weekend was great actually. Everything I've done has been great this year, to be honest. There's not been too many
massive progress from your injury.
Yeah, not many down bits. Yeah, loads of highlights.
I
tell you, sorry, selfishly, I tell you what was good. The day me, you, and Rich. I know it wasn't a massive day out or anything, but me, you, and Lazenby went back out into the Snowdonia because I hadn't been out there really. And we're 4.5 hours just up and down Ogwyn Valley.
Yeah.
Just a nice day out. And I've not been able to do that many of them until that point. So that was good.
Yeah. I mean, I might just switch it into another category because I think it's probably a good time to do it. So if we think about best trail event or race experience, because that fits in with what we're saying, doesn't it? And TGC was a special one, wasn't it? Like we all went out there, which was good. Supporting Gary and getting that chance to be a part of his support crew was definitely up there on my list.
It was that weekend was incredible. It's February this year, 2025.
Yeah.
And we'll be out for 2026 again, which would be great. But I don't race much abroad. I haven't got that much experience of racing abroad. So for me, that was like incredible experience. I did the 47K and then supported obviously you and Josh. So Gary and Josh doing their races, you doing the 25.
Yeah.
So all your mates racing in a fucking brilliant event, a week sunshine on a great island. It was just amazing. And I'll never forget coming over the finish line. The longest finish line in the history of finish lines.
2 finish lines.
And I thought I'd finished. I didn't even see Gary. Got the old finish line pose up just scored a goal in the World Cup final, arms out aloft, just stopped the watch, looked up to the gods. Gilly, that's not the finish line. What? It's round the corner. And then run round the corner and there's another 50 metres to run. I'm like, absolutely get the watch back on.
That was a fucking classic, wasn't it? Actually, I think we might have to give memorable moment to Rich there for that.
Yeah.
Memorable moment was Rich not doing that in Chamonix. Because that's where I saw you 50 metres before the line and you were definitely checking to make sure you got the right one.
Yeah, not as complicated. But that event, just great. All your mates, all racing.
Just the right amount of Yeah, like noise and people and all that kind of thing, I think, for a big event.
And the
like
North
that.
Face do a great job in that.
I've said it before that like that event company to work with as well, the organisation are amazing. Like
Yeah.
it's the
World Trail
opposite.
Majors and the North
It's
Face.
the absolute opposite of like the experience you get with UTMB, which is for many reasons, and I get why it is. Like it's so difficult to work with them. Like there's so much red tape around UTMB, the finals. I mean, in Chamonix, but TGC is like so easy to work with.
Such a big thing for the island, and they want
They want the attention. They're happy to like work with you media wise.
They also want
give you content.
Exactly. Yeah.
But you got some, world class athletes performing. You got Caleb Olsen winning that race, John Alban, Josh Wading going top 3 in the main race, right?
Yeah.
What I mean, am I right? Yeah, that was it. So like some incredible. Was it with the lady?
Well, just sticking with the men, and we will do the women in a minute. But do you remember Puppy's race? He won, but he won in the last 200 meters. It was one of the best finishes I've ever seen.
Missed that finish.
Can you imagine if he'd have thought the finish line was where he thought it was and he'd have lost it? Fucking hell, that would have been funny. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure we're going to talk about Puppy later on. But that for me was an incredible moment as well. And so amazing event and most memorable moment. And then the women's race. Just trying to think who won the women's actually. Should know this, shouldn't we? Chris, I'll ask you to do some research and probably come back to us in about 50 minutes with the winner.
Who's this? Gran Canaria?
Yeah.
Sorry, I zoned out then. End of the year and all that.
I can't remember the winners of most of the other races. Actually, Henrietta Albon did really well in that race.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember the other winners of the other distances, including the men or the women. They were the ones that really stood out for me, to be honest. But whilst we're on memorable events, Kendal Mountain Festival, I know it just happened a couple of months ago, November, but for me that was a memorable event, mainly because Sports Shoes showed up in style. You were all there. I worked with all of you. Gary really helped out with our content, and Rich, you were on the North Face side of things. Yep. And for me, Quid Games as well. Like that was like a special moment for me because I'd put so much work into it with Kay, and you all got to, at some point this year, be part of Quid Games, whether you were filming, whether you were racing, doing the content.
Trying not to crash into kids.
Your first Quid Games at Broughton.
Yeah.
Was that November last year?
No, it was January last 2025. Yeah, so it's this year. So we've done 2 this year.
So Quid Games, right? Like I was invited to the 2025 Quid Games, the launch of it. Like what an event that is, and then to see it again in Kendal, like just go from to the next level of like taking over the town. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, plaudits, man.
Yeah, proud moment that, mate, because I felt like there was an opportunity to take it there and do something different and like own that Friday night as well, because obviously you got the 10K Terex race on the Saturday morning, and now you've got the North Face race, which then starts Saturday morning, finishes Saturday afternoon. So Saturday's out really because you can't compete with those 2 big events. But I think Friday there was just that opportunity to do something a bit different and take over the town and do something that's never been done before.
But Kendal as a whole that weekend,
mega, wasn't it?
It's like just getting better and better each. The rise is massive. But yeah, really good.
Yeah, we did a full episode on that. If anyone's interested in listening to more about Kendal this year, just jump back maybe 3 episodes ago. It was on that.
Right, I think it's about 49 or 50.
And then we've mentioned TGC. UTMB was great. Again, another opportunity for us all to get together, wasn't it? So that was smart.
Yeah.
And I liked Marathon de Mont Blanc. Now, I didn't go there with any of you guys, but as an event, I think there's some potential there. Because I think it's like how UTMB was maybe 5-10 years ago. Because UTMB for me now is just at a point where, it's at a breaking point where I think it's too busy. Whereas Marathon de Mont Blanc in June time, sponsored by New Balance, I think it's really good. It was like enjoyable busy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I got to race as well. There's some good races in that week. They've got the VK. I did the half marathon distance, which I don't think there's many harder half marathons than that. You actually finish 1,000 meters above where you started. So in terms of climb, it's a punchy little fucker.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, it's interesting that looking at that. Yeah, going there with less drama around it.
Courmayeur, that was kind of races in summer great because they're same area, but not the same intense UTMB experience. Maybe
you love your Tour de Jean as well, don't you? That's a really good.
We're not mentioning that. It's highlights.
Not this year, not this year. Yeah, but the event itself.
I'll give credit to UTS this year.
Because
they had a major change from the year before, and they had to change their event village and start line in the next little section, which is a big move for them, and they had to do it. But logistically, worked better. Oh, okay, the weather was great, but the finish line and the actual event village for UTS after this year was brilliant. But they did a great
It'd be
job.
interesting if when they have those numbers, a bad weather year.
Yeah.
That'll be a test.
Yeah.
There's so many people on that mountain. What if that bad weather comes in?
It's dangerous up there. It's like ridiculous. It's so greasy
Yeah, well,
as well.
I mean, not even necessarily danger. It's just miserableness, and it'll just be a completely different event as well. Yeah, it'd be interesting. Good to see.
Yeah, definitely. And then obviously you mentioned Ultra as well as an event. That was good. So
I mean, I'm a little bit limited on my experience of travel and events.
Yeah.
But, two I went to were great.
But nice. Good to mention. Okay. Best running influencer. Gary House, in it, obviously. I mean, apart from Gary House.
For me. Gary House.
Gary's my vote.
Gary's won that, but who we're going to give second place to? We better mention some other people.
I'll tell you on that note, for a long time, not that I resisted it, but there was definitely a shift where sometimes I'll get invited to things now, and it is I'm listed as influencer or running influencer because just because of the account and stuff. It's funny, and it's like I've spoken to some people and they'll really push back on it, but
lean into it now.
Why not?
Look, we've spoke about this before. Anyone who's putting yourself out there, you're trying to influence, aren't you?
Yeah,
definitely.
I know there's some bad connotations with influencers, but like we'll touch on, there's great influencers out there. I think, like for want of a better word, you can't just funny.
Well, Josh Beaumont, I was going to mention it. He's
what's his take on it? Because I don't know him well enough to because he will be called an influencer now.
Yeah, he probably would prefer athlete, but he probably would.
Prefer that.
But he is an influencer, and that is what he is first and foremost, really, because he's got nearly 250,000 followers now. He's built that up over the last.
By the way, this time last year, 20,000 followers.
Yeah, actually, you go even further back. 18 months ago, I think he was on about 1,500, and he's up to almost 250,000.
Just from some zips.
So he's a king of ASMR, isn't he? Yeah.
Can I say and this is any creators out there who are trying to think outside the box. You don't need the big rigs,
and
the best cameras to get the shots that go. He's using an iPhone. It's placing it in a simple position. I'm not taking anything away from Josh here.
He's spotted a niche in the market, hasn't he?
Spotted a niche in the market.
You know what he's good at? He's been consistent with it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he's and like you say, it's like he's it's good that he does try and share more of the other stuff, but still what he's actually known for now, what's got him the big following, he's still consistent with.
Yeah, he stayed true to it.
Too many people find what's like a winning method, for want of a better word, and then try and do something completely random and not stick with what they were kind of known for, what people have followed for them. And you can do the other posts that Josh does do. And that's why, and people will be interested in that. But you can't complain if you get known for something and do something completely wild.
I'll be honest, Gary, I didn't think it would last. And I thought to myself, and I was with Josh in March this time. So last year, nearly a year ago, we were together on a sun god job in Tenerife and had a great time. And he was making a quick rise then, but he just started the ASMR stuff, kit stuff. I didn't tell him this, but I'd be like, I'll keep doing it. But I did think personally, like, probably going to shelf life this.
Yeah. Well, it might not last long term, but what will last is that, like, if the following that he's built, as long as
he's still got that. Yeah, he's not going to lose that.
No,
and I think he's like adding to it now. He's never veering away from it fully, but like he is a legit athlete in his own right. So he's got that side of the content, and he's starting to branch out with a little bit more talking to camera. So he's building up his armory, as it were, hasn't he? Like he's got a bit more of a range, but he's not deviating from the bread and butter stuff. Like it's still working.
And the thing is, if only 10% of that 250,000 then wants to invest in the other stuff that's still a That's what you got to. You can't get too hung up, because I get this sometimes. Like, once you get over 100,000 followers, it sounds mad, but like, you can start getting your own head if things aren't getting hundreds of thousands of views. But it's not really about that. There's different ways of making content, and it's like, I can give you probably five. We've spoke about this recently. You could get a viral reel and get absolutely no one really follow you, because they just enjoyed the reel. Or you can make content that has got a bit of value behind it, and then less views and maybe more people follow you. And you just have to, again, I don't want to go into a whole new episode about it, but as long as you kind of know what your end goal is, you can kind of do it.
And going back, and I think it would be a good topic one day to talk about it because people are interested, or some people are. But going back to Josh again, kind of just back up what you said there in terms of he walks the walk and he talks the talk. His result in Kendall Ultra, it's not like a highly that field. However, that you can't take away the time that he ran that racing. He did a 50k. It was about 1,200 meters elevation. He did it in 3 hours 40 something.
Yeah, it's a serious time, isn't it? I mean, he's not going to win UTMB, but he's a legit athlete, you know. Do you know what I mean? He's
getting stronger and he's getting better.
And he's committed as well. Like, I think it's giving him a real taste for it.
I'm really pleased for him.
And it's nice that because he had such a passion for the North Face, they've actually now made him into a global asset. You know, like because before all that, he was just so dedicated to the brand, a bit like yourself. Like you were wearing it before you got taken on. That it's like authentic as well. Yeah. So I know people will be like, oh, he's just doing all his brand content because he gets paid for it, but he was actually doing it before. So fair play to him.
Yeah.
Shout out to Josh. What about? And I'm not going to say that this person should win this award because I don't think they've done enough this year. But there was a post recently that went out. What about Hardest Geezer? We've got to mention about his plans for next year, haven't we, Gary? Because you brought it to our attention. I'd seen it as well. He's got quite an ambitious.
I know this seems like a bit of a setup, but it's only because we spoke about it before the episode. So yeah, Hardest Geezer is what's he most well known for? Africa. Yeah.
Yeah, Africa, running across Africa,
which was very impressive. I'll read out the list of his 2026 goals. So wants to run a sub 2:30 London Marathon. Run a sub 7:30 100k race, complete a 250 kilometer race in 24 hours, qualify for the Team GB 24-hour team, beat Dan Lawson's Le Jog record, which is currently 9 days and 20 hours, beat the record for the Transamerica run, which is currently held by Pete Kostelnik, and complete the longest non-stop run ever, which is thought to currently stand at 581 kilometers.
Well, yeah, quite an ambitious plan. I mean, any one of them would be a decent goal, wouldn't it, for the year? That is ambitious, isn't it?
I mean, there's some big goals there. I'd argue that Dan's record and the sub 2:30 London Marathon is the
hardest.
No, it's not even the hardest. It's the most high in the sky, non-achievable in a million years for him.
Yeah, that's going to be... they'll be the two toughest.
There's lots of Hardest Geezer fans, me being one for the Africa thing, but... like
Was there a 5k one in there, did you say, as well? I'm sure I'd seen that. Like a sub 15.
Not on this, but this was... I think this is a story.
I mean, that's going to take some range anyway, isn't it? Because you think about running a fast marathon and then going and doing the longest continuous run, for example.
The person who sent me this accompanied it with he ran a 2:51, I think, in the marathon, which is a brilliant time, actually.
But shaving that much off.
I mean, I know what it takes to go from 250 to 245 and then to shoot for 240. You don't go, I'm a 250 runner, I'm going to go for 230.
Yeah.
It's just absolutely insane.
I think if you were going to try and do that, you'd have to literally dedicate all of your training to that, wouldn't you, as well? Yeah. So like, to do all that on the list, you'd have to do the full range, wouldn't you?
Go and run a sub 1:10 half marathon. Yeah. And he doesn't last half of that. And it would just be like, well, anyway. Who knows why he's put that out there? I'm sure it's because he probably needs to attract sponsors at this time of year, maybe.
Yeah, it's definitely a talking point. It's got us talking, hasn't it?
Yeah. So don't get me wrong. I don't know much about him outside of the Africa thing, but that's not.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to. Sorry, Hardest Geezer, if you are listening, probably not. But you're probably too busy trying to train for those achievements. But I think it's that's pretty ambitious. That.
I think if you picked one of them next year, you would still not come.
Can I mention a friend?
Yeah, of course.
Melly Welly Woo.
It's not Melly Welly Woo.
She's influencer of the year.
It's Sam King.
Sam King.
So actually, I just mentioned him to you guys earlier, and he kind of like off your radar.
Have we moved?
No, we're on the same.
Influencer of the year still out there.
Sam King has just completed and broken the world record for the most back-to-back ultra marathons for in the men's category.
Yeah,
he has just completed 79 ultra marathons in 79 days consecutively, running 50k a day. all in aid for Headway UK, a charity that is close to his heart because a year ago his mum collapsed with a brain bleed. She's still around now, but he's raising money for that charity, about £80,000. But yeah, he has completed 79 ultramarathons in 79 days. Incredible.
What? Because I don't know too much about the challenge. Is 79 mean anything?
He was doing 74 in 74. I think that one for every year of his mum's life. But he's just carried on for a few extra days. I can't remember. Sorry about this, Sam. I've not got the information why he went to 79. I think he felt like, I don't know.
Maybe that was the record.
I think. So I think he's done that and he's now completed it. Incredibly nice guy. I met him a few times. And interestingly, he was massively overweight and obese a few years ago. What might be saying that? I think he's like 30, he's 31, I think he is. But he was also...
Stone or age?
I'm not sure the way.
Or both.
so he's super inspirational, really good guy. But also he was like #1 in the world, Call of Duty.
Unreal.
So it's like he's got like an interesting backstory.
Yeah. I think that's arguably more impressive.
I am more impressed with that, yeah.
Honestly.
We get him on the pod. That sounds really cool.
Get this guy on the pod.
Him and Tommy Gravison.
Yeah, because Tommy Gravison was definitely top.
By the way,
3 or 4, wasn't
get him
he?
in quick because he's all over the national news at the minute.
Oh, is he?
Seriously.
That means he'll be doing the podcast rounds as well. We'll have to get
if you don't know, he is Sam King, Sking, Fatboy Sking on Instagram. Go and give him a follow,
cool,
and what a top guy.
Good work, Sam. Good work.
Yeah, well done, mate.
Should have stuck around for 80 though.
he's now in.
I wonder what he did on day 80.
Well, he's in Gran Canaria now. Steph Natman, because they're close mates, and
right.
another.
Is she ever in the UK?
I know. It's Judith Chalmers. Come
on,
Judith Chalmers. That one.
We're checking her passport and Schengen law. The government will be after her.
Yeah. So now, there we go.
Well, that's a nice little way in and segue into another. I suppose you could class them in this as well. Another category.
Before you move on, can I just jump in there? I just Googled Josh Beaumont to see who this guy was that you were talking about and realised I spent the company with him last night because you only introduced him. No, because you only introduced him as Josh. I had a nice chat with him. He was really nice.
Oh, so you were with him last night?
Yeah. Also completely lost on me. Whilst we were at UTMB, I got introduced to a nice lady who I thought was marketing for Sun God or something like that. Turns out it was Emo Body. So not to say running influencers are completely wasted on me. So if I ever bump into anybody,
Emo Body's a bit of a big deal. So you should have got her over.
I actually thought you'd met Josh before.
I think we have met before.
Because Josh and Ellis, I remember, I know certainly Ellis has met you before, but she was really excited about meeting you because they watched Clarkson's Farm and then they've heard you on the podcast and they listened to the podcast. They have 2 avid listeners as well.
Yeah.
So they were giddy about meeting you.
There you go. But, running influencers wasted on me. Sorry.
Yeah.
Right. Best challenge, FKT. So I'm going to separate this because we're going to do best race performance separate. So if it's an official race like UTMB, that's in another category. This is for like FKTs or like personal challenges. That one that Sam did is not actually a race, is it? It's something that he's just gone and tried to do. Is it what was it? 78 ultramarathons back to back.
79.
So that could be a nominee for this, if that makes sense. So off we go. Who do we think?
It'll be Sam King then.
Well, there's more people that have done more.
Elsie Davis.
He's not the only one to do challenges.
Elsie Davis, Circuit
right,
of Cornwall.
Perfect, right. Yeah. So talk to us about that.
Elsie Davis, Circuit of Cornwall. We have mentioned it a couple of times on previous podcasts, but there might be new listeners today.
Maybe future podcasts.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't know where we're at with this.
Hey, get Elsie on. Elsie, incredible athlete, firstly, representing the North Face. She's up there in most races she competes in.
Do you know when people look like athletes? Like she just looks like a thoroughbred, doesn't she?
She looks hard as nails.
Yeah, she's absolutely ripped. Like she looks like
she's Sigourney Weaver.
You can tell that she's a good runner just by looking
strong.
At her. People often say that to me as well.
I'm
only joking.
I think that's
he knows his way around the spa. That's what they think.
Julia's had a great year as well, hasn't she?
Oh yeah,
in her own right. The whole family is.
The whole family are
good genes.
Dad's an amazing marathon runner still, apparently. So, but yeah, she was a event close to her heart. She was doing it to get some money together, some charity money together for research for Alzheimer's UK. Because her mum obviously had a relapse a couple of years ago with Alzheimer's. So she wanted to do something, a challenge to raise awareness for that charity, but also to challenge herself close to home. And her home is Cornwall. So she did the circuit of Cornwall, which is the full perimeter of Cornwall. What's the mileage again?
It's like about 400 odd miles, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah.
It's around 400 miles, let's just say.
Yeah. And it's actually a newish route, right? So
she devised it basically, didn't she? So she's got the FKT essentially now for it. Yeah.
And she was pushing around about 70, 80K a day on average, maybe a bit more. Over a set number of days, and she completed it.
And despite the fact she's an ultra runner, it was a step up for her in terms of distance. Certainly consecutively, wasn't it?
I don't think she's done multi-days before.
No.
So this is a big thing for her, and she had a good team around her, a logistics team and Chris Taylor, and the team supporting her, and obviously Will HP on photos, and I was down there with Dan from the North Face capturing content as well for you guys. But honestly, seeing her and running with her, and she was just badass on it.
I'll tell you what we'll do, Rich. She's obviously on the list of nominees there for that worthy entrant. Let's get you on a separate pod after this next week's there, and we'll mention it then.
Yeah, all right. Yeah,
let's do
appreciate that.
Yeah, let's do that, mate.
That's if he survives the wedding.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Tell us all about the wedding, mate.
Get him on.
Yeah. I'm going to throw one in. Hannah Cox, good friend of the pod. She's currently in her challenge at the moment. She's doing 100 marathons, 100 consecutive days, Project Salt. So follow it on Instagram, support her, chuck some money at her because she's trying to raise £1 million for the planet. Hannah Cox Salt, Project Salt. Hannah Cox, Project Salt. So she's about 60 or 65 days in, maybe a bit more when this goes out. It'll be about 70 maybe. But I mean, that takes some doing. It's across India, so it's an incredible challenge. She's such a lovely person as well, and she's got a great team working with her. We mentioned her a few episodes ago, but the content that's coming out of that, I've loved following it. That's the one. She's got the salt wagon, the big minibus, the camper van that's going around. The pictures are fantastic. The video content has been really amazing as well. So a little team, and shout out to Natalie who's doing the content as well. I mentioned them a few weeks ago. She's deep into the challenge now, so she's feeling the physical effects. She messaged me and said like it is really, really hard, conditions wise. Stomach's bad as well because she's been, I suppose when you're in a country like that, you're not eating normal food as well,
absolutely.
Your regular food, should I say? So there's like so many things up against it, but she's doing really well. So shout out to Hannah. Hang in there, Hannah. Keep it going.
I think anyone that does stuff like that in countries that are far away from sort of home, outside of Europe, that is a challenge straight away.
Yeah.
I think with the climate, the culture, and the food, your circadian rhythm, your body, and everything like that is out of sync completely.
Yeah.
And then to be doing a massive challenge like that in that part of the world, like big respect. Like
tough challenge. Have you got anybody you want to mention for?
I'll give two a shout out, I think, because they'll go remarkably under the radar otherwise. Friend of mine, and well, everyone's, I guess, Matt Neal did the solo unsupported Steve Parr round, which I was just trying to think. I don't know the actual. I didn't know the actual like numbers for it, so let me tell you this. It is 61. Because not as many people, will be aware. So it's 188 kilometers, 13,000 meters, all around the Lake District. Yeah.
Tough challenge.
And he did solo unsupported, so you can't accept support from anywhere. He set off. I think he just gave 2 people his whereabouts, as in like Elson. But we were following it in a WhatsApp group, his tracker, over the summer. And Matt Neal's multiple Lakeland 100, he's just done he's done about 10 spines, he's done Tours of Giants, he's done Tours of Glaciers. There's nothing he hasn't done. Pika, and having spent time in his company, he's just the most unassuming guy, but most knowledgeable as well, and just a good down-to-earth guy. And he sets out on these adventures and doesn't tell many people, but that is some undertaking, let me tell you. Never mind solo unsupported. And by all accounts, he just talked about it in our WhatsApp group afterwards. gave some of his experiences about like when he was like under the moonlight and all this kind of stuff. And I just love listening to that kind of thing because you can kind of picture yourself and just going on this journey on his own.
Use poles.
I don't know actually. It's a good question. Matt will have to come on. He'll happily jump on, to be honest, and talk about his adventures. That's a good question, actually. I don't know if Matt actually uses poles. Having been with him a few times, he must do, because that is
just gels as well.
Yeah, well, Matt. Yeah, when we went to Pika Pika, he was like he was borrowing gels and stuff off me. So that's not that he's unprepared. He's just he's very old school.
Call it morning run.
He'd have like he'll have a bit of Kendall mint cake and just off you go kind of job. Brilliant guy. We'll have to get him on. And then Dan Lawson, Southwest Coastal Path.
He's a legend, isn't he, Dan?
Again, anything Dan does, I get invested anyway, just by knowing him. And he just does things differently. I love watching challenges where it's big media and you get to follow it every day. Whereas Dan, it's usually just his family in the van following, and you get a bit of footage shot on a potato that's been following, and he's breaking records that you can't see beaten.
Setting a new standard.
Yeah, and he's in his 50s. He won't mind me saying. I think he's 52.
That's what I was going to mention. The fact that he's in his like early to mid 50s.
Yeah. So I mean, anyone that comes within spitting distance of Dan just falls in love with him, and he gives so much back to the sport with the green runners and all that kind of stuff. But ultimately, just an immense. He does that long distance, day after day stuff better than anyone I've come in contact with.
I wonder what his training week's like. You know what I mean? What's typical training week?
It used to be very, very high mileage. Robbie helps him, Robbie Britton, and he's his coach. And and they've spent some time over the years reducing that. Again, I'm only speaking as much as Robbie's told me and Dan, but he's reduced his volume over time. But he's I think 230 or sub 230 marathon runners kind of thing. So it just shows the level that these top people are operating at in his 50s, and then goes and he'll do like one of these challenges a year, and it's his holiday usually. Yeah,
it's
the rest of the time he's knocking about in his sauna on Brighton Beach. You can go and see him. Yeah.
Oh, is that has he got like a wellness job?
Yeah, like a mobile sauna that
That's his job.
Love it.
Yeah. He's got lots of little things.
He's still got the shop though as well, because he does the Revive. Is it Revive or?
I don't. He definitely hasn't. He definitely doesn't do the shop in terms of physical. I don't think. Yeah, I haven't caught up with him for a while, but he obviously does what he can.
He did used to like repair clothing, didn't he?
Yeah,
and
he
shoes
used to
and
have.
sell it in the shop.
Yeah, so there was Rerun, which was brilliant, but I think it's just become so overwhelming, and like everyone wants to get rid of their race t-shirts, right? And it just ends up getting dumped on Dan and team, and it's like, how much help am I actually being here, and versus how much are people just dumping on you? You know what I mean?
His good nature.
Exactly. So it's not even that. It's just like, what can we actually do with this? What kind of change? So I think he's put his efforts elsewhere, so he'll still be campaigning on his crusade, but just in different ways.
Fair enough.
But but as a runner, like when you see him in the 24-hour and his 6-day events, he's a top world class ultra runner, and like, but again,
did he make Hugh Chatfield's list? Is he in the top 20?
I think he just missed out on his UTMB points this year. Yeah. Yeah. Him and Mark Derbyshire just didn't make the list.
Friend of mine, Killian.
Yeah,
he did States of Elevation.
Did he?
As well? Yeah, every year he does his big challenges, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Pretty impressive. Yeah. I mean, he's just some epic shit. I just think he's in another category, isn't he? Killian. A bit like Dan, like he's one of those people that you just think there's not many people on the planet who could replicate what they do. Like he just keeps on going, doesn't he?
I think you're right. That's a good way of putting it.
There's not many that cross boundaries in terms of outside of trail running. Like I've just bigged up Dan, but if you're not in running, even if most runners probably won't even have heard of Dan, to be honest. So whereas Killian just crosses so many different mountaineering,
transcends sports, doesn't he? Yeah,
alpinism, all that kind of stuff. Everyone's interested, aren't they? And rightly so, because what I like in his not his later years, you know what I mean. He's not just about racing anymore. He's obviously doing what he wants to do while he can. I mean, in terms of physical capacity, I think, not in terms of like how long he's going to be here. But yeah, some of the, like, again, I can't even what I know, I can't get my head around some of the stuff he does.
Yeah.
So it's almost unrelatable to
Superhuman,
someone
isn't
who's
it?
to someone who's been in those mountains and stuff.
It does have a skill of like normalizing these ridiculous challenges.
Yeah, it's a good way of putting it, because
Yeah.
you watch it and you almost know the outcome, and you're like, well, yes, this is fun and everything. And it's like, and sometimes you have to remind yourself what he's actually out there doing. A bit like, I always forget a name, the name that was in the Pyrenees.
Fernando Marcial.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I got the same impression with that film that we watched. It's just, the film was great and everything. I know we touched on this. Just again, with my limited knowledge, cannot underestimate it, what some of these people are out there doing.
Yeah, they're like pushing the limits of human endurance out there, mentally and physically.
I watched a geezer ski down Everest the other day on YouTube, the full 30-minute version.
Nuts, isn't
I'm
it?
watching it thinking, like, I even thought, like, well, how are they even filming this and stuff? It's like,
but these sort of challenges that these category of people complete, they're like fictitious movies, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's in the category they're in. It's like you're going to movies.
It's as close
to watch
as you're going to get to superheroes in our world.
It
like
is.
Alex Honnold, isn't it? When you first watched that and you knew the outcome, I just couldn't watch it. It's like ridiculous.
So
sweated in the cinema.
That's what's so amazing. Yeah.
They're in that same category.
I mean, I've sweated in the cinema before, but not because of that.
Too much popcorn in your lap. Yeah.
Anyway, next one.
I've got another name to throw in. Actually,
sorry.
Before we move on, but we've mentioned some of the big ones there, the big hitters. But Sarah Perry,
Of course, yeah.
Are we getting her on, by the way, on the podcast?
Yeah, she was. We had arranged for her to come on. This isn't throwing Sarah under the bush, but I think it was quite close to when she travelled back from the US and stuff. So, and then I noticed that she'd been on a few podcasts. So
yeah,
we've let her off the hook for now. But we're coming after you, Sarah.
You're
gonna have to come on at some
on the
point.
hit list, didn't she? We've mentioned her now, haven't we? So yeah, she's got to come on.
I've never met her personally, but again, just a big fan of seeing these things. Granted, it's not my bag going from doing what she did at a backyard ultra, which was immense, almost straight into the hill ultra.
Yeah. As a coach, there's two ways of looking at that. Give yourself some rest and recovery, or are you actually, because of the type of race it is and a challenge it is, it's not really, she's running strategically at a certain pace to complete these laps. Is she better going straight into it like she has done and still doing well?
When you're talking about, I want to achieve this and this, it's almost like you don't need a coach to coach the physical stuff. Then she must know, she will, again, I'm speaking, I don't know Sarah personally, but for her to do that, she must be confident that she's physically capable. So then it's a mind thing, yeah. So then it's like, have you got good people around you? Are you recovering okay?
Mm-hmm.
Apart from that, it's like, crack on. It's not like I'm trying to train someone to go, right, okay, you've just done a marathon in 3 hours, and then they want to go and do a marathon in 250 in 2 weeks. It's like that's very tricky, yeah. But what some of these ultra runners are doing, when it's borderline, it's not like she's going to be doing that every month for the next 6 months or for the next year. Sometimes it's like, well, strike while the iron's hot. I feel good. There's the opportunity. Go and do it, and then I'll have my rest afterwards.
The stress response on the body and the mind during a race is high when you're pushing, when you're bowling, whether it's 10K or 100K, right? But on these backyard, I can't comment. I've never done a backyard ultra.
Yeah.
But on a backyard, it's slightly different, right? Unless your time is like, oh, hang on, time's coming in here. We're struggling to make the cut off. But for example, going back to Sam King and that point I've just made, he was doing 350 kilometers every week, 2,500 meters for literally probably 12 weeks. Right? So consecutively. So that suggests people like Sarah Perry, who's doing the backyard ultra style events, could be still really effective going from one event to the other with limited rest.
Do you think some people are just built differently?
Well, there is that as well, and it is a lot of it is mental. Being, it's not even like a mental. It's not even like being a toughness or like a
this.
Yeah, it's not like a who's your man who's carrying the boats and all.
Oh yeah. Not Goggins.
Yeah,
David Goggins.
it's not that kind of mental toughness. I think in the events that someone like Sarah's doing, it's almost being just comfortable with yourself for a long period of time, which sounds a bit woo-wah, but having done 24-hour events and stuff, like it's remarkable. You're much more. You can talk yourself out of things so easily. Yeah. So I imagine Sarah's very good at being within her own company, and she enjoys that kind of thing, and she enjoys the challenge of mentally being with herself, because the physical load, yes, it's a lot, but someone like Sam's a good example. You're not moving fast enough to do yourself too much damage.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sarah Perry came 4th in the winter spine, 4th lady in the winter spine this year as well.
Yeah.
I mean, let's give her some bloody credit. Interesting. She's doing the Dragon's Back this year, and I'm doing it as well. So I think she'll breeze it. I'm pretty sure. But interesting to see how she does it.
Hey, but I'd love to, again, as a fan of the sport, I'd love to push her and see what, going
she's like
some races.
I'd like to do more races now.
Yeah,
definitely.
But until we speak to her, we won't know what's driving her, because obviously at the moment that's not what's driving her.
She's coming across as a great person though as well.
Yeah,
I want to say that. I think she's coming across really well.
No, we haven't met it. Well, I haven't met her yet properly, but anyone that I come into contact that's come into contact with Sarah speaks.
Yeah, they've already got good words.
Yeah, we've communicated a few times in the last few months because she knew I was doing the Dragon's Back, and she said she wanted to get some training days together with a group of us in the new year. So I've only spoken to her on text, never met her, but she seems like a really nice person.
Just going back to that point,
just up and down the same hill for 4
4
days.
do you think that though? Because some people, and just talking not outside of running now, they can survive on say like 3-4 hours of sleep. That's what they get, and some people need like 7-8. Like, do you think, in terms of ultra running, somebody like Sarah, she's obviously like got a different genetic makeup?
Is she a firefighter?
I'm not sure.
I think she's a teacher.
Oh right, okay.
But she teaches, man.
Well, should that go against what I'm going to say? Because I think someone that works shift work, who is their sleep pattern is all over the fucking place, right? Are really good at these overnight stuff. Whereas me, if I ain't got my 7 hours a night sleep, I'm fucking knobhead until the midday.
You'd be surprised though. It's like, it's a bit like when you look at these performances in the backyard ultra and stuff, and then when you compare it to, because I've touched on this with you lot, 6-day world records, they're so far and above anything else, really. Yeah. So they are really at what I can see is almost like mental and physical limitations, because they're moving for 6 days. It's 6 days it's 6 days. It's not 7 days, because there was a day of rest so long ago. So that's why the 6-day world championship, big thing. So it's almost like, okay, so there's obviously different mental things coming in, because if it's the backyard ultra, it's the stopping, starting, or whatever, and the fact that you can only beat the people that are there. With the hill as a bit of a random example, you've obviously got to manage the load of, you're either going up or down. There's no respite. Yeah. So someone like Sarah and anyone that gets near to finishing that is obviously strong physically anyway.
Yeah.
Each one of these races, like Laz, for example, that sets up the Barkley and stuff, they're different to running races, because they're coming up with a challenge that isn't just a physical or a mental or an exhaustion. It's a bit of everything usually. So it's so wide ranging.
You know what I was saying by that, don't you? It might be that also, and beyond the physical and mental capabilities, you need to do this, which, don't get me wrong, like, you've got to be fucking hardcore to do it. But is there something genetically that allows people to like cope without?
Oh, no, I imagine no doubt at the top level, yeah.
Because, like, I mentioned...
that's how anyone rises to the top.
Well, I mentioned Alex Honnold before, and they did do some studies on him, didn't they?
Yeah.
And he's got something in his brain and his makeup that doesn't allow him to experience fear like we experience it, like a normal person would. So that rationale between, like, you're not clipped in and you're halfway up El Capitan, like, we just panic and we fall off. Like,
there is that, but even to be in that position...
Yeah.
Like, I thought when you first see that, you think, yeah, well, that makes sense. But ultimately, you've still got to have the skill level to
Oh
even do it.
and that's what I'm saying. But beyond that, there has to be something else as well, doesn't there? Yeah. So I'm not trying to say that's the only reason why they can do it.
He said also, I'm just saying, in a recent interview, I heard him say that El Capitan, if people would look at that and go, "Fucking hell," that's. Look at that, and I feel like I'm going to fall off without even going up it. But he said he was going for 10 years all the time, like getting his mindset comfortable with that mountain and that drop, and then getting himself used to it before we started knowing what he was even doing. So I guess. I mean,
that's just basic science, isn't it? Yeah, it's a part of it. It's a part of it, isn't it? I'm not saying that that's the reason why these people can do that. I'm just saying
special.
There's an extra element of that. There's got to be present somewhere.
100% agree. And you could then go into the mindset of ultra runners and ultra adventurers of how they can cope, but they might have been through something. One of the movies I saw where one of the alpinists had lost 2 girlfriends off the top. So basically, his first love, he fell off. Leo Slamet's first girlfriend, first love, fell off the top of a mountain when they were out together. Tragic thing that happened. And then part of the story is that, will he ever find love again? Will he ever get over it? Yeah, he does. 5 or 6 years later, he finds another love of his life. She does the same. She falls off at the mountain. And basically, that trauma, but that trauma that he's suffered.
Sounds like Coronation Street.
Sounds like he's watched a couple of episodes of Benidorm.
I couldn't believe it. I was watching this
now
film.
He's driving round in a Rolex and a BM.
But I couldn't believe it watching this film unfold. I thought, surely not another one. Oh my God, it's happened again. But he will never experience, someone said he will never experience the same pain as to losing a love of his life. So when it comes to this pain that you receive in an ultra challenge or pain going up a mountain, it's not the same.
Yeah.
So you don't feel it. So it's like that's what they describe it as.
Yeah.
Whereas I can't experience that because I've not gone through the same experience. But that person doesn't feel the pain that the endurance event gives them because nothing will ever touch. That other pain.
They've gone beyond that,
which is quite interesting.
It is interesting. We've gone off tangent there, but good chat, lads. I'm glad we did. That's the beauty of RUNcensored podcast, isn't it? We can allow for these deviations in chat. Right, back onto the list. So let's go for best race performance now. So we've done like best challenge FKT performance. So this is in an official race now. So not FKTs, not something that someone's doing that nobody else has done or only a handful of people have done at any time. I'll kick it off. Remy Benet on the men's side for that VK world record, because that, especially after the year he'd had as well, because he was injured at the start of the year and then he came back and delivered that. I mean, I think we all knew he was going to do it because the week before he'd gone up the same climb at La Foulée and he'd come close in training. Like he'd put a ridiculous time down and then went back and did it again the week after, which was absolutely unbelievable. So he's my nomination for the best male performance. And the best female performance, I'm going to go for Tove Alexanderson in the World Short Ultra Champs in Canfranc, because she won the race, got the gold medal, but she beat Sarah Alonso and Naomi Lang by 37 and 39 minutes respectively. I mean, over that distance, which was essentially about, 50, 60K, that's incredible. Like, it's absolutely incredible. So, yeah, can I take that, Rich? So, I mean, for me, that was a standout performance. Probably, I would say, in both men and women, but we'll split it into 2 categories, Remy and Tove. But also, Tove recorded the highest ever ITRA score. Don't know how she'd rank on Hugh Chatfield's scoring system, but certainly she did well on the official
top
one.
20.
Yeah, she'd get in the top 20, wouldn't she?
Just behind Hugh.
I hope he's listening because he'll love this. He'll laugh at this because it has created a real split in people's opinion, hasn't it? Which is
good. On both charts.
Oh, classic. So for me, those two, because they were official races, and wow, what a level as well. That's why I've gone for those. Over to you, chaps. Gary, I'll let you go first.
I'm going to keep it UK based, and I'm going to take the easy way. Well, not the easy way out, but I'm going to combine 3 that I know of. Anna Llewellyn's results from this year. Being honest, didn't know too much about her before this year, and then she won the Felsman outright. won Lakeland 100, I think in around 22 hours, which is a brilliant time. And then outright Lakes in a day. So three performances there all of a sudden.
She's a serious athlete, isn't she?
And it's and knowing those races so well, it's hard to put together one, like, ultra running is so competitive in the UK and outside the UK now. It's hard to used to like kind of predict who was going to win a race maybe by looking at a start list, and unless Mark Derbyshire is maybe there in 100, which you'd argue he's the best. Well, he is the best 100 miler in the UK that competes in the UK. I know people argue with me about Tom Evans, but people that race in the UK, I'm talking about. It's like her performances that for those 3 races particularly, seriously impressed me.
I'd love to get her on the pod, by the way. She'd be a great one, wouldn't she? Have you reached out?
Yeah, well, I've had a chat with Anna, and she, like, she's kindly said she enjoys the pod, but maybe.
Yeah.
I just think, and I fully. This is why sometimes I have reached out to a couple of people, and it's not like, when do you want to come on the pod? I'll just say, please, if you want to keep it to yourself and stuff, please let us know. So she said maybe in future she's still she's still enjoying what she's doing. But I'm still going to call her out for great performances.
No, too right.
Yeah, and I know we've chatted about the performances in the past as well. So
yeah, and the pod isn't for everybody, is it? Like,
no, and there's been a couple of people I've had conversations with that I'd probably like to get on, but again, like, I know we have a laugh, but we're quite respectful and saying, look, please don't think that we won't be offended.
You can say no.
Because that's. Before I started this, I used to think that you can't really say, it's hard to say no, but that's only because people don't really give you the opportunity to say no when it's a podcast. I'll definitely give you the opportunity to say no. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going for one race actually, and I had no involvement in this race other than just watching it as a dot watcher because one of my close mates was running. So one of them is him. I'm going to start with the lady first. Anna Troop. She won the Summer Spine. And I think she's won it before, hasn't she?
Super Trooper.
She's incredible. And I'm pretty sure she won't mind me saying, but she's one of the more mature lady runners, right? She's a Lake District legend. But just watching her during that week as my dot watching, just seeing her just really own it. I just really found it inspiring. Like, yeah, I could say like your Ruth Crofts. I could talk about some of those other big well-known races, and Abby Hall, who did really well. Was it Western State?
Yeah, that's right.
I thought that was an amazing performance. I don't know. I just Anna Troop. I just found that a really good watch. And in the same race, my close mate, no one will really know who he is, but some of the PQ runners, Mark Dobbs, he turned to ultra running a few years ago. He's not been doing it too long. I used to play football with Dobbsy back in the day, and he took on the Summer Spine. And he won't mind me saying again, he's turned his alcohol addiction into ultra running, and he finished the Summer Spine, but with about 20 miles to go, so more or less a marathon to go, he could barely walk. His soles of his feet were literally falling off the bottom of his feet. Basically, they were wrecked, ruined. And every step he said he was making a noise of pain. But he could have just stopped, but he just carried on. And he got to the finish line, and I saw a picture of him and his daughter, Mia, and Anna, his wife. And I broke down seeing those pictures, see little videos coming in. But to say that he'd finished it and he just got over the line, he didn't care that whatever time it was, but he made it, and I was super proud of him. So yeah, I'm going to get Dobbsy.
Yeah, Dobbsy.
Well done, Dobbsy.
Mate. I'll mention a few other people that we've not already mentioned.
Again, I am reiterating this caveat of we will miss loads of great performances, both male and female. So don't feel offended if we don't call you out.
We have talked about him already. Mark Derbyshire.
Legend,
absolute legend for that performance earlier in the year where you were down, Gary, watching him, and he broke the record, didn't he, at the time for the fastest 100-mile in the UK
trail,
class. Josh Wade, third at UTMB.
Amazing.
Tom Evans, first at UTMB. Wow. Holly Wotton won Dragon's Back, second overall. Sarah Webster for the world 24-hour world record, women. Lucy Gossage for winning the Spine. Sarah Perry.
Winter spine.
Spine,
I'll
sorry, I should have
protect
said.
Ben as well by saying we're not even dipping into fell running on this at the minute because of the orienteering, which we all talk about. Because we
like the ultra category.
A little bit.
I think these are the big. Yeah, these are like the big stories. I would say, like the one that got most attention. Sarah Webster, Lucy Gossage, Holly we mentioned, Sarah Perry as well for doing the backyard ultra. I know we just mentioned her, but some big female performances there.
We'll have to throw Holly Stables in there. I don't know which one she would fall in. We'll put her in running influencer just because she'll fucking hate that. So, just because. Yeah, I mean, I was there to witness her do the speed project, and it was a while back now. So it's, but yeah, it was amazing to see again while we're on the talk of females.
And she won't mind us saying she's older than a lot of these other runners as well. So she's still doing it. Like she's been she's still an unreal runner, but like at her peak, she was like world class, wasn't she? And she still is doing it now.
Yeah.
And it's impressive.
We're all in our 40s and everything. Yeah. It's hard not to compare yourself to that runner that you were 10 years ago, 5 years ago, maybe not so rich, because she's a bit later to come into it. But it's almost like, and I've spoke to Holly with it, and I'm sure she won't mind. People like Holly really impress me just with able to adjust because like she's representing GB in the marathon. Yeah, so you're at the highest level in your running career, for want of a better word, and then you kind of have to adjust your goals, not in terms of how much you want to compete, but just like I'm obviously I might not be a GB marathon runner, but I might be the best at what I can be in this or this, and you have to find a new path almost. Yeah. And that goes for everyone. It's almost not like, what can I be the most competitive at for everyone? It's almost like, I know for Holly, she wanted to win the speed project, but she also wanted the experience of it as well. So hopefully, I know she got that.
I still feel like with Holly as well, though, the hunger's still there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, and that's competitiveness.
I love, and again, I love seeing even my lot complete their races and go from kind of, let's call it unfit to fit, whatever you want to call it. And I love the ones that I coach that have won a couple of 100 milers this year as well. But I still love speaking to people, and they're just so competitive. That kind of competitiveness, I do love that. A bit like when we spoke to Kay, and she let us speak freely about how competitive she was in her orienteering.
Yeah,
I was buzzing for it, and I'm not even in orienteering because I just get so involved with someone that is competitive and happy to say that. And I don't mind if they're winning or losing. I just love the competitiveness.
Can I just say, anyone that competes in races or anyone that enters a race has got an element of competition in there. In their
Otherwise, you just wouldn't, would you?
You wouldn't bother. Yeah. And there's no wrong
so many
with saying I'm
events there
competitive.
now that and I get it. You can be competitive with yourself and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's still nice to see old school kind of competitive.
Love that. Sports. What sports designed for? Competing, winning, losing. Yeah.
Your best friend coming back. Yeah.
Too much over Christmas.
Yeah, overindulged on the sample. Right, the big category really then is Trail Runner of the Year, and we'll go male and female. So Trail Runner of the Year, I think, is somebody who over the course of the year has. I'll let Rich have a look at some of the nominees for this.
If you're listening,
it might not just be
Rich
one
has
performance.
Forgot what he wrote down before.
I think this could be for notable performances over the year. So I'm not just talking about one standout here, which a few of the people we've mentioned might have had a really good race at a particular event, but these people I think have really shown up across the full year. And actually, you mentioned it off camera, Gary, but let's just go straight in with the men, and let's go straight in with Francesco Pupi, because Pupi, I mean, I think he might have lost maybe one race this year, but crikey, he has won some ridiculously big, high-profile races all through the year, starting with Gran Canaria back in February last year. February last year. I remember if we're 2025 or 26 now, right up to the point where
depends what time when you have to do this.
right up to UTMB.
That little Christmas tree's doing well, isn't it?
It is. It's stood the test of time.
Take it down yet?
I do need to take it down. It's been up bloody weeks actually. So he won TGC, the marathon in some style in Feb, and then at the back end of 2025, the back end September, start September, he won CCC at the UTMB finals. He then went to the Worlds, didn't win, but was still comfortably top 10. And for me, Pupi's just been showing up every year. and so every race and absolutely laying it out. And I think consistently he
didn't beat our Strava segment though, did he?
That's true, actually.
We took it off him.
Did clean him on the Strava segment in Chamonix. Did show him how
he didn't want to clean sweep it, did he?
No.
But I remember seeing Poopy on the CCC because I was out there waiting for some of the Coros runners to come through. And it was down Vallecine again, just after actually, on the way up to La Flegier. And I was sat there on my own, just recovering from the OCC. And I hear a bike coming, and it's the videographer at the front of the race with the front runner, and it's Puppy just behind him.
Yeah.
And the biker, the cyclist news reporter sees me. He gets out of the way. I get some shots of him. Still not edited those images yet, actually. But yeah, he looked, and he'd literally got 20k to go.
Oh,
and he looked just like incredible. And by the way, just give him credit. He's a 50k runner, right?
Yeah.
That's his bread and butter.
Well,
and
actually,
then to go and just own the 100k race.
Yeah, I was going to say that was a real step up for him, wasn't it? And when you historically look at him as well, really, he's a sort of a VK short distance man, and he's come into ultra the last few years. But
shows what it takes now. You've got to be fast.
He's got the full range. He just ran a 29 10k maybe a week before last.
Wow.
So he's got a full range as Puppy.
Is he like Peter Pan or something? Because he looks 12.
He's been on the scene now for, I would say, competitively, like the last 12 years. I actually, I'm not just saying this like I'd say I know Killian. I actually do know Puppy really well because
quite like his. Sorry,
he's just a really, really down to earth guy and incredibly intelligent, really knowledgeable. Diehard trail runner, like invests so much time into helping others as well, and like trying to move the sport along. And he's on the council of like the elite trail runners, and he's always trying to do like good, just in the world. He's just an incredible person, brilliant. If I'm honest. But his range and his application of like his training and the races that he's done, like you said, like moving now from 50k up to 100k, and to be able to do that over such a short time and win it. Because I didn't think he'd win CCC. I'll be honest, I thought it might have been a bit too much for him distance-wise, but crikey, proved me wrong. And it's not that I didn't believe he could do it. I just didn't think it was the right year for him to do it after everything he'd done. So consistently over the year, for me, like I think he's got to be the one. But sorry, Gary, you were going to say something on Puppy then, unless I've just mentioned it.
No, I just realised I was just butting in out of nowhere. But I quickly thought I quite enjoy his social media, but you covered it there. Really,
it's pretty deep, isn't he? Like
he's worth a follow just because he's not afraid to speak his mind. But then there's also light-hearted stuff. He's just good all round kind of person to follow. I've found over the last couple of seasons, definitely.
Because he was on the Nike trail team and he left because he didn't ethically agree with some of the things they were doing, and he joined HOKA for the right reasons as well, because he believed it was the right reasons, and like that's the sort of thing that he's not afraid to take a stance, is he? Like he's not, he wouldn't do it just to be a sheep or like avoid controversy. He'll stand his ground for the right reasons and stand up for people as well. I mean, I'm saying he's the trail runner of the year. It's just when you mentioned him, I thought that he's got to be
one of
my vote. But we can't not mention Tom Evans for an unbelievably consistent year, starting from the arc of attrition right the way through to that really classy UTMB win. Because even though they changed the UTMB course slightly, if it had been on the original course, he would have got the record when you look at his time and you look at his index that was generated from UTMB, not Hughes index score, the actual UTMB index. It was really, really impressive. And El Hussein, normal trail runner, won Golden Trail Series. Again, just over the course of the season was pretty impressive. Caleb Olsen started at TGC, then went on to win a number of races across the year, didn't he? Western States being another.
Spencer Matthews.
Where's he ranking actually? Yeah,
he's definitely ranking.
Hold the phone. Spencer's in. Yeah, I mean, Puppy, sorry, mate. We're going to have to get you Spencer.
And then next year it'll be harder skis, yeah?
Yeah, well, with that list, if he completes that list 100%.
Let's just go back to the Tom Evans races. I was out shooting for Sun God in February last year, and he won. So I was shooting Tom Evans for the Tenerife Blue Trail by UTMB. So my job that day when I was racing was shooting from start to finish, driving to different spots. Loved that sort of shoot. But it was a breeze for him again. I mean, obviously he worked hard, but he looked really comfortable. But what a few people have asked me about, a few newbies into running asked me about, how do you get into the UTMB finals? Well, there's two ways. You either win a race or top three of the UTMB races, or you get a lucky draw like I seem to always get, right? But what some people don't realise is those that come in the top 3 in a race. So that race he won in February means he's qualified for a race in 2026. That wasn't for the 2025 finals, like a year in advance. That's what people.
Yeah.
So when people, that's why these Tom Evans and people like that are going out to these smaller UTMB races to almost not risk getting not in the top 3.
Yeah.
Therefore, they've got their ticket to the finals.
Job done, isn't it? Box
Job
ticked.
done, and then they've still got the finals that year from the year, but they qualified from before.
Yeah.
So that's how it works.
The UTMB monopoly is like, it's really, the
Whereas if
structure
you
of it's
pick a
phenomenal,
World
really,
Trail
isn't it?
Majors events, again, because I do love UTMB, some of the events, but that's how they create a monopoly, because you do have to get the points, you do have to, and if you're an elite athlete, you do have to go and qualify and stuff like this. World Trail Majors do it different, where to qualify to be in their competition, you have to do 2 races over the calendar year, which is their version of keeping it a bit more sustainable travel. Their whole message is do one in your the most local to you, and then go and travel to one, and then that's you done. Good prizes for that as well. Women.
Just moving on to women, but before we do, one last person, Ludo Pomeré.
That was good.
West nodding because Western States and then UTMB. You watch Ludo at UTMB, unreal, because he comes through basically the whole of the field. He'll start off in like 150th place, and he just picks people off, and he'll end up top 10, guaranteed every year.
He's 50 odd.
50. Yeah, he's just 50. Gone 50 this year, I think, hasn't he? Unreal. So shout out to Ludo. Right, women.
I know it's an easy shout, but I'm going to kick off with Courtney, but not for the usual reasons, just for seeing her finish that UTMB when she was obviously dropping back, and a lot of people in her position would have just pulled out, right, because she wasn't having her best day. But she went through us way far down, big smile on her face and everything, just took it for what it was, and almost. Again, this might sound a bit like cheesy. Maybe it wasn't for this. It was almost like she was doing it for everyone else, and she wanted to experience everyone on the trail and whatever it was. And it almost not let people down, but it was just great to see her still finish, which I still think people should value a finish a lot more than they do at these races.
Especially someone who wins all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
You could have just pulled that injury,
and you wouldn't have blamed her maybe for pulling out, but equally, that was way more impressive to me than some of the wins she's had, to be honest.
Yeah, I completely agree.
It just showed.
I felt
backed up. She is what she says.
Can I just say as well? Recently, she's just completed a road marathon in a get up that she usually gets. These long bloody shorts she's got on, in something like 2:40,
2:38.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, she locked 11 minutes off, didn't she?
Yeah, she's done 2.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, it's impressive, and that's not her distance, is it? She said if she put some proper training. She could get the sub 230.
Put some proper shorts on.
Honestly, she could put some
it's probably more like old school race. It's probably more like trail shoes, didn't she, for it, to be honest? Genesis. Yeah.
Come on.
But she didn't even wear carbons. So I agree, Gary, with everything you said there. And it was similar to like Jim a few years ago when he finished 4th and he was winning and he knew he wasn't going to win and still finished. Massive respect. I forgot to mention him on the mail list, by the way, because he's won OCC. He won the World Champs and he also won County Ultra, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Amongst other things
not
as
a bad
well.
year for Jim.
So it's not a bad year for Jim. It's just like a normal year for Jim, isn't it? So
we said we'd miss some people. Just Jim.
I'm sure he's not listening though.
What I was looking forward to most this year out of everything, but it didn't happen because she changed a race plan, was Katie versus Courtney. I mean, you look now at what happened. Katie potentially could have won UTMB. You would think. I'm not taking anything away from Ruth, who did win. But Katie is an unbelievable ultra runner. She's probably closed that gap between her and Courtney. I would think now is arguably the best.
I would say
trail
she's
runner
the best
in the trail runner in the world.
Moment.
So her range is phenomenal, a bit like Puppy's as well. She did a few different races, didn't she? She went to do Zagama. She's done some cross countries as well. She's mixed it up. She did the Worlds. She won the Worlds as well this year. So Katie definitely needs to get a mention, certainly for how she's progressed in her range. Ruth Crofts for winning UTMB. Anybody else? Anna Llewellyn, you mentioned her before, Gary. She was your wild card.
There was. I'll tell you who I always like following on social media. Sarah Alonso.
Yeah, she's a badass.
She had a bad injury, didn't she? I love the way she shares her training, and obviously we've spent that time a bit out with her. Well, not with her, but she was on that Essex weekend. When you can see someone that just loves running and loves the training, and you can see the passion in the races. She will rinse herself in whatever she kind of does, and that
she runs till she nearly drops.
Yeah, and that's what I love. That's what I love seeing. And I know it's amazing when you see a Killian or a Jimmy who looks like they're fully in control. Sarah never looks like she's in control in terms of that way. She's just like a bit like
she lays it all on the line, doesn't she?
Yeah.
She's a Rocky Balboa, isn't she?
Exactly, and she'll finish. There's blood everywhere, snot everywhere, all that kind of thing. She'll just push it.
She's raw.
Whether she's finishing a bit further down or she's winning the race, I just enjoy again as a fan watching her compete.
It was nice to see her win Zagama. I just said before then that Katie did. It wasn't Katie did Zinal. Sorry, that was my mistake. So Katie chose to do Zinal in the Worlds over doing UTMB this time. But yeah, she won Zagama, did Sarah, and won it in some style, and it was good to see. And I think that really showed like her class. And then obviously finishing second in the Worlds short ultra to Tove again showed just how good she is. So yeah, some good nominations there.
Fiona Pascal had a good year.
Yeah, Pascal, she did. She come in the top 10 for the CCC.
Western States did well.
She did.
I'm just thinking, we've mentioned all these people as nominees. Why don't we get our listeners to vote for the winners of these categories that we've been through?
And remind us who we've missed out.
Yeah, absolutely. Because we all miss some people.
Kirsty.
Because just seen her in the background there.
She's got to be
Not sure which category we're going to put her in here, but
influence of the year.
Ben, I can see you turn the paper over. Before you move on, and to give you guys a bit of a break from chatting, listeners to the podcast will be fully aware that the authority on answering trail running questions is
you.
No, sorry. The authority on trail running questions is ChatGPT, the episodes we do once a month where people can write in and you guys answer the questions. They might not be aware that there's this software platform that's come out this year called ChatGPT. Very similar name, quite confusing. And it's good at answering questions. So I thought whilst you were chatting away there, I'd ask ChatGPT who would be the outstanding trail runner of 2025. And these are the results. So male, and it's only one, so we'll keep this short. Male, Killian Jornet. And it says in 2025, he has continued to redefine what's possible in the mountains, combining elite race results with big mountain objectives that blur the line between racing and alpinism. Guess you probably agree with that. Mm-hmm. Female, it came up with Courtney DeWalter, and you've just had quite a big chat about her. 2025, she continued her dominance across ultra races, often winning outright or finishing alarmingly close to front of mixed fields. I think you'd probably agree with those. I then thought I'd say, well, what about just UK athletes? So pick of the UK, this is ChatGPT again. Male, Jonathan Albon. Sorry, Gary.
Shout out, actually. I forgot to mention John Albon, actually.
John Albon. So he's continued to perform at a very top level internationally, mixing sky races, mountain races, and ultras that with his trademark efficiency and tactical intelligence. So nice brief.
Really and Henrietta Albon. We'll give her a mention.
And the female in the UK category, Anna Llewellyn. I know you guys are a big fan of her. Performance across fell and trail have shown not just strength, but proper racing intelligence, winning outright, mixing it in the front of mixed fields and backing up her races after race or whatever. Anyway, so I read it.
Point in us fucking being here. We could have gone to the pub, just get Chris to ChatGPT.
One last one, which I thought was just a nice take on it. Having a look at breakthrough runners of 2025, and again, this is not me. This is this software.
Chris Davies.
Chris Davies, it is you, mate.
Male breakthrough, Jack Scott.
Yeah.
Your thoughts?
Absolutely not.
Female breakthrough, Lucy Gossage.
I think breakthrough. Jack's not a breakthrough.
No, Jack's not a breakthrough.
He's been doing it years.
Jack won the Spine the year previous.
I mean, this is just some software system in America, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, Jack's already well recognised, is what we're trying to say.
Yeah.
We're not trying to dig in there. No, we just don't think he's a top runner. But interesting, isn't it?
There you go.
I tell you what, as well, and I think I'm going to give her my vote, and I have very briefly mentioned it. Naomi Lang, I'm going to give female trail runner of the year to, because she has come this year and broken through and taken her running to whole new levels, medaling in the Worlds and also winning some big races outright and podium in some of the big races. So I'm going to give it to Naomi and Puppy.
Is she coming anywhere? Is she doing any races early next year?
I'm not sure on a race schedule for next year. She's obviously like Salomon runner, so that does tie into some of those races. But she's done a lot of the big races on the circuit. I just think the world's her oyster. I think she's just going to go from strength to strength.
Age?
Oh, young mate. She's like, I want to say mid-20s. I'm just guessing there though. But
Good.
I'd say, Chris, if you can maybe research it, but we haven't got long enough.
All day.
This is a long episode, guys.
Yeah,
I need a piece.
Right, very quickly then.
These
very
cameras have
quickly.
been rolling for nearly 2
Because,
hours.
very quickly. We'll wrap this up
No
in a minute.
offense to Naomi, but you know we're scraping the barrel for Googling ages at the end of the year. We ran out of content here, lads.
We're ready for a new
She's
episode.
been on holiday. Yeah.
Cameras are at 12%, so we
Right,
do need to
okay.
wrap it up
I will
soon.
wrap it, mate. Just
My
let them.
prostate's at 3%, so you better get a move.
Yeah, I'm ready to roll a leak.
Worst prostate's got to be me or Gary because one of us breaks before the other. You are the
It's the
dog whisperer
litre
there.
San Pellegrino I get given. That's what it is. Yeah.
Most improved, I think we were going to give to Chris Davis, weren't we?
Chris
The
Davis,
shirt.
Chris
Yeah.
Davis,
Well
yeah,
done,
well
Chris.
done, Chris.
Yeah, you've won that one. You don't
Yeah.
have to vote on that, people. Best podcast, Gary? What do you reckon?
This is football.
I was going to go square ball, but yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like high performance
Yeah.
Yeah.
at the minute.
RUNcensored will come in a close second, but
Yeah.
top of the running charts, I guess.
Yeah.
We're working our way up, aren't we? RUNcensored. I mean, I
Yeah.
listened to 10 hours of it on that Ultra. So
Ah,
I definitely
yes.
got a viewing up on that. But,
Yeah.
if other people can help out,
I
it's,
know.
Couldn't think of anything
yeah.
worse than Ultra to listen to us sing.
like,
I
comment,
know.
subscribe, and ultimately share it. That's the thing that's going to help us grow. We'd really appreciate it if you enjoy the podcast, and if you've got an hour and a half into this one, you're definitely in it for the long run.
That's true.
Please let other people know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gary likes running channel and runner as well, don't you? They're your two other favourites, aren't
No.
they? Right, okay, let's finish it there because we've gone massively overboard and Gary needs a piss. So
I'm literally sat here across the leg.
He's in knots here, the poor lad. He's in knots. So Happy New Year, everybody. Thanks for listening. Please like and share on social media. Stay tuned for what we've got coming in 2026 and we'll see you next Tuesday.
Next
Ciao.
year.
Yeah,
Ciao.
next year.
See you
Next year. See you next year. We're
I'm
done.
joking, I am going to have to go.
Right,
Well done,
Well done,
guys.
team.